What's up, dudes? My name is Nick. Welcome back for another music video reaction as I check out the brand new song from Apink coming off of their album titled Percent, or their mini album, or whatever the heck it is. I don't specifically know what format it's taking, but Apink did the whole, thing that K-pop groups, girl groups kind of sometimes normally do, like within like 1 or 2 years of their debut, or maybe even 3 if they're, stretching it or super long. And they grew up, they evolved, they added a little bit more, sex appeal and all that kind of stuff. They sort of lost a little bit of or all of it, or most of the whole innocent and cute and lighthearted and, brightly colored and all that stuff, image that Apink held on to for like their entire career for hundreds of years, because Apink has been around for hundreds of years. And they dropped that with I'm So Sick. And it was glorious and it was amazing and I really liked it. I'm sure a lot of other people really liked it. It was very much different. Like, they changed and they definitely did not release a song that was trash. So that's always good. And they're following it up with a brand new song that I think is going to continue on with the same sound and look. And I also don't think it's going to be trash, because to be honest, Apink hasn't released a bad song or a song that I've really been like, ooh, I really don't like this. So I'm very excited. I'm very interested, and please forgive me for, making a video for this, 2 whole weeks or so after this one got released. I do apologize for that, but work got in the way, like my actual real life job, because unfortunately this is not my actual real life job. So with all of that being said, I'm going to give you guys my honest first impression thoughts on this song. If you want to hear more stuff like that, I encourage you guys, of course, to share your own thoughts, whether you like it or not. Because, we're trying to build a community that's where all that kind of stuff is encouraged. So if you want to join that community, subscribe to the channel. I got plenty more videos where this one came from. But like I said, with all that intro and all that talk done, let's get this song started. Ooh, was that just a little Shinsadong Tiger thing? It's going to be a killer song. I already know that. I already like this. I already like this. I like this part a lot. Give me the chorus. Can't say I'm really like a huge fan of that whole transition, little like anticlimactic, I think, I don't know, maybe that's just me. I really wish that 1TheK would stop inserting their brand in like all these music videos. I'm really tired of it, to be honest. Like, we don't need license plates that say 1TheK on the fucking cars in the background of the thing. We don't need... Not even gonna go there anymore. We're done. I can say one thing I don't like about this song is that it's really flat. Not really flat, I shouldn't say that, but it's relatively flat. So for me, the chorus isn't really as like, special and magical as like it could or probably even should be, But holy shit, I guarantee you, like, if you showed people like who didn't even know, you know, pictures of Apink like now and like 2 years ago, there'd be so many people who'd be like, "This not even the same group. They're so different." Man, I'm so conflicted on this song, whether like I really like it or if I just like am kind of like, I don't know if I really like this song or if I just think that it's just okay. Cause like there's stuff I like about it, and then there's stuff that I'm like, it's just not connecting with me. So that's a thing. I don't know, like I said, I like that. Like I'm kind of conflicted. Like on one hand, it's cool because I like the, I don't think it is necessarily, but it definitely has maybe a little bit of a, well, I think synth pop-ish kind of vibe to it, which I like. I just generally sort of like synth pop music in general. It's nice to listen to some of that stuff. So I like that vibe. The fact that, you know, even though, which here we're even gonna say this, that even though, you know, Apink as like their image and their sound has kind of definitely evolved to be a much more, I guess, the targeted audience of people who've, well, grown up since they debuted as a group and have been making music. But this song, I think, just sort of retains a little bit of the light, whimsical, you know, sort of feel that Apink just as a group kind of projected with some of their music, or with most of their music before. So I like that. I like that aspect of it. But on the other hand, you know, a little bit of that and the way that the song is sort of, and the flow of the song, especially with the fact that the chorus doesn't really go anywhere particularly special, in my opinion, just kind of leaves the song feeling a little flat, and ultimately, I don't know, a little bit, just a little teeny tiny bit boring in some points. You know, I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't. The chorus doesn't necessarily get me excited. It definitely has a nice feel to it, but I'm not like, you know, freaking out about it. It's a really nice song. Would I say that it's better than I'm So Sick? I mean, it's definitely a very different song. So, you know, maybe it's kind of hard to say and compare the two. But, you know, personally, if you held a gun to my head and forced me to pick one of those two songs as like my favorite, I would definitely say that right now, as after listening to this song one time, that I'm So Sick is definitely more of a favorite song than this one is. You know, that's really that. So those are my first impression thoughts, of course. But I definitely think that as I listen to this more, well, as with most songs, I listen to this more and I'll have like maybe one or two deeper thoughts to share with you guys. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave you guys with the question of the video, answer it, leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll be back with some deeper thoughts on the song in just a couple of seconds or so. Alright guys, let's get into a review talking about one thing that I like about this song, or one of the main reasons that I like this song, and then something that doesn't necessarily make me dislike this song, but it also doesn't do anything really to kind of add to my enjoyment of this song. So first off, starting with what I do like, which kind of, as I think I talked about a little bit in the first half of this video with the whole reaction segments, my like very first initial thoughts of this song. The thing that I like about this song is, again, like I said, the little lights and just really sort of, I don't want to say minimal, but it definitely doesn't have a particularly, you know, heavy or, you know, super poppy and all that kind of stuff like sound to it. Like if you could, like this song definitely is a very sort of light sounding song compared to I'm So Sick. 100% this song has a very much, you know, light and airy sort of feel to it. As compared to that previous song. And that's something that I really like about it. Like that is something, it's very, very easy and pleasant and just nice and relaxing, I guess, to listen to. The entire song is like this too. It's not just like a little bit of the song, but it is like 100% from the very start to the very beginning of this song. It's all all, you know, sounds and instrument, or the sounds and stuff that the instruments are making, and the instrumentation and the vocals and all that stuff in the song sound like they don't have a whole lot of weight behind them, which, like I said, I like that. I think that that's something too that is kind of, you know, kind of relates and ties back into the whole like image and the feel to a lot of the Apink songs from the past, like all the way back to their debut to a certain extent. I think that's cool. It was something that I think that sort of feel was definitely, like I just said like 30 seconds ago, was missing in their most recent release before this one, but they've got that in this song, and that's cool. So the difference between I'm So Sick and this song is definitely something that I think is super dramatic, and it's something that I actually enjoy. You know, I like when groups release songs that, you know, even if the genre of music or the visual style or just the basic concept of the song is relatively the same, but if they can do it with a very noticeable difference and, you know, spin on it, then that's something that I really enjoy. And I think that this song for Apink, or the last two songs for Apink, are, you know, in many ways kind of similar and related, but at the same time, in terms of like the sound and the genre and the image concept and all that stuff, but at the same time, there's, you know, pretty dramatic difference. And I mean, all you really have to do to just kind of tell the fact that these are two different songs, even though maybe they're sort of related, is just kind of like look at the color pattern and the color scheme of the music videos. You know, I'm So Different definitely, you know, had some bright and vibrant colors in it, but it was dominated, I think, by a lot of darker sort of colors. And this music video definitely is a song that is predominantly, you know, brightly colored things, pinks and purples and those kinds of shades, as opposed to I'm So Different being, I think, a lot more, you know, blacks and darker shades of colors like that. So that distinction is cool. They're very clearly different sorts of songs, different vibes, different feels, but I think if you kind of like distill it all down to the pure essence, they're kind of relatively the same too. So I enjoy the fact that they're, like I said, somewhat the same, but very, very noticeably different. One thing that like I said, I'm not really, and the final thing like that I'm not really a fan of, but at the same time, that I'm not a fan of, but it doesn't make me hate this song. That just, I'm kind of like, that could do more for me, but I don't hate it because it doesn't, is really just the fact that, like I kind of said at the, you know, again, going back to something I said in the reaction segment of this video, that the song kind of just like peaks out and ends up being relatively flat at a point. And, you know, the chorus could be a moment in the song that has a little bit more impact and, you know, it has a little bit more of a wow factor, or something that kind of could, you know, grab my attention a little bit more, and it just doesn't. It just kind of falls short of that, which, I don't know, you know, thinking about this and going back to what I just said as far as, you know, the overall vibe of the song, if the chorus kind of did have a little bit more wow to it, or, you know, made me say wow, or go like, whoa, that's really cool, or, you know, was something that was meant to kind of be a little bit more attention grabbing, then maybe the whole, or I would say likely the whole light nature of this song would, you know, vanish and disappear, and that would be something that would kind of potentially, you know, be a negative aspect, you know, in the context of like what I like about this song. So, you know, like I'm saying, on one hand, like, it's one thing that like I wish that the chorus gave me a little bit more as far as, you know, substance and, you know, things to, or just like was the pinnacle of this song, but it ultimately really isn't the pinnacle of the song. I don't think there necessarily is a song that is like the tippy top. This is the most important and most significant part of this song. And on one hand, I like that, but on the other hand, I don't really like that, because, you know, it kind of, there isn't necessarily, you know, one part that I would sort of, you know, as far as like the melody and stuff like that, that I would really kind of pick out to be the thing that is going to be, or that I would sing along with. Not to say that there isn't something like that, but, you know, it just, you know, the energy level and the feel of the chorus, just even despite being built up pretty decently too, I think it just doesn't necessarily deliver as much as it probably could in the context of the entire song. But like I just said, if it kind of did potentially a little bit of what I would have liked, I don't specifically know. Like I said, if it had done something different, if it had been something a little bit more impactful, a little, you know, had a little bit more wow factor to it, or a lot more wow factor to it, then maybe that would just kind of ruin the entire vibe of the song. I think that's likely, and so then it would have been a negative aspect. So like I said, that's just something that I feel sort of neutral towards, you know, and I don't know, it just is what it is. It's not something I hate, it's not something I like, it just is something that is just there, and I don't really have any particularly strong thoughts on it, so I'm not going to talk about it any more than I just have. But I guess in the context of all of that, one of the things I do like, which now we're adding a third thing that wasn't necessarily planned, but one of the things that I do like is like the first, you know, half, the first quarter of each of the verses, or, you know, the music track super minimal with the vocal track, you know, maybe as far as like different, if you were to separate everything out to be like a, you know, instrument, to each instrument being on a track, to the vocals being on one, maybe you got 3 or 4 different, you know, 3 instruments plus the vocals in the music track in that entire, you know, segment of the song. Again, kind of playing into the whole super light and, you know, thin, so the super light and airy sort of feel of the song. I like that aspect of it too. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit of a different contrast compared to the rest of the song, you know. And even though, like I said, it doesn't necessarily, you know, that the song doesn't necessarily have a, you know, specific like sharp point, more of like a little plateau for most of it. Like this point is definitely a little low point, in that is different from a lot of the rest of the song, which is all sort of in line with itself. So that's that. I don't know if I explained that particularly well, but it is what it is if I didn't. So that's what I've got to say on this song. If you liked it or you didn't like it, or if you felt somewhere in between, I want to know what you get. I want to know what you think about it. So leave your thoughts in the comments below, and just, yeah, do that. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts, of course, because we're trying to build a community here that's all about having some free and open discussion about our thoughts and opinions, no matter what they are. So if you want to join the community, then subscribe to this channel, because I've got plenty more videos, hopefully, in the future where this video came from. So that's it for this video, guys. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.